What's up, guys? This is Eric. I wanted to show you the most recent sword project that Colonel Dad finished with. I buy a lot of weird sword pieces if I come across them in antique shops or on eBay if they're really cheap. Sometimes I don't even know what I'm going to do with them. I just get them because I like them, and I assume that someday either I will use them in a sword project or I'll force my dad to do it when he's bored. This is a case of the latter. So I had bought online a diamond cross-section thrusting bayonet, and it's an antique rifle bayonet. Couldn't tell you off the top of my head what rifle or bayonet it was from, but it was a fairly inexpensive old steel military thrusting bayonet, and it came with this really cool steel scabbard, and it just fits in there, I mean, like a freaking glove. It's great. So I bought this knowing that I would eventually try to make some sort of a short dueling foil with it. And this is short. It's about short sword length. I'm going to try to put it up against my body so you can see some sort of relative length. But this sword is 26 inches overall. The blade is 20.5 inches from the hilt out, so that means we got a 5.5 inch grip, which is plenty for my hand. See, I've still got plenty left over in there. The guard on this, another interesting sword tidbit that I bought, is an ultralight titanium guard, full saber style or cutlass style hilt for a sport fencing saber. So a sport fencing saber is much like the foils or épées that a lot of people see on TV. I think it's probably less common, but they essentially use a full guard instead of just a little bowl guard or you know, any sort of other guard. This has a lot more hand protection, but it's still very, very lightweight and plenty strong. Plenty strong. I mean, especially when you flex this titanium into shape, it gets very hard. So this whole thing, like I said, I was aiming at making something ultra light, but still really durable. This whole thing weighs 13.2 ounces, less than a pound, with 20.5 inches of steel designed for penetration. So, makes a great little short dueling foil, which is, you know, I've heard swords like this in the past called pillow swords, especially if someone takes like a sport fencing sword of some kind and shortens it down and sharpens it. I've heard that called a pillow sword. So this might be an example of a beefed up pillow sword, but I prefer the term short dueling foil. So yeah, it's very, very stiff, doesn't bend really at all, very lightweight. I don't know how to do any of that stuff. My MMA coach from long ago, Doug Stokes, once said Eric Dean is a yahoo that plays with nunchucks in his backyard. And that is absolutely true, but I've graduated to much more expensive weapons to play with in other people's backyards. So I'm moving up in the world. So anyway, let me show you some of the up-close details of this thing. Because I wanted to pretend like I'd done something, I burned some initials in the back. That's just initials for my girlfriend, me, my dad, and the year that it was made. Just kind of the chain of command. Since I got the pieces, Dad assembled them, and ultimately we're building this sword for my girlfriend, Corey. I kind of wanted us all represented there. The handle is beautiful. It's a piece of Osage orange. It was originally about a 1-inch thick dowel that was used by my great-grandpa on a pitchfork handle. The pitchfork head rotted away. I saved the haft, and I've been using it for knife handles and things ever since. It's beautiful wood, and the piece of wood is, you know, got to be near 100 years old at this point. So Dad sanded the sides down flat. I don't know if you can see that, but the back is rounded, the front is rounded, the sides are sanded flat, which creates a sort of oval grip. And even though this is primarily a thrusting sword with a diamond cross section, so there's not really an edge, so edge alignment is not really that important, I still love the feel of an ovular grip as far as indexing my grip. It just feels a lot more secure in my hand. I really like it. And that's it. It's got this cool little pommel nut, which is really just to hide the transition where what am I trying to say here? Where the tang, the threaded tang, comes out through the end of the handle, and this titanium guard loops over that. And obviously this little nut here would have been enough. This little acorn pommel nut would have been enough. But Dad found this decorative washer at a hobby shop, I think, and I think it adds quite a bit of class. So yeah, anyway, this is Colonel Dad's, he calls it Sting, much like the sword in Lord of the Rings, even though it is a different style of sword, but he said it reminded him of a large wasp stinger, which I can't argue with. So this is Colonel Dad's short dueling foil, tentatively titled Sting, for Corey. Thanks for taking a look. Okay, focus. What's up guys, this is Eric. I wanted to show you one more sword project, not one more, I'm gonna do this for as long as I can, that was a lie.